Who are you to doubt El Dandy?
This is Robbie Eagles.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
Hi, this is Mimic. This is 5 times the world's heavyweight champion, the Scrap Daddy himself, Scrap Iron Adam Pearce.
This is Brian Alvarez, and you are listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Josh Armour, and thanks very much for downloading Wrestle Radio Australia. This is our first episode.
Oh, yeah! G'day, this is Big Brody Marshall.
This is Brian Alvarez.
This is Dean Brady of the Millennials.
This is the Jurassic Punk Sid Parker.
How many of you guys have heard the term KP?
Hello, doggers. This is Jay Hunter from OSW Review.
This is Matt Grim Basso.
This is the loosest in Australian wrestling, Adam Brooks.
This is Scrap Iron Adam Pearce, and you are locked in
to Wrestle Radio Australia.
I in the game, I'm champion, I'm Triple H. Undertaker, I'm your maker, bury the brother like Kane. Ooh, 1-3, hit the tombstone, hit the choke slam on face. Ooh, yeah, like a macho heel, tell like country muscle. If you suffer like tomatoes, I'ma keep a couple models. Ooh, and you may call me HBK. When I'm tuning up the vein, you best be getting in my way. Ooh, yeah, I'm degenerate, I love it, yes, I love it. If you ain't down with that, then I got 2 words for you, suck it. Too sweet, put your fangs up. Too sweet, holding up the club. Let's be busy 23, got me feeling way too sweet.
I was trying to make chicken salad out of chicken shit, and it was just awful.
I've turned chicken salad into chicken shit. I will continue to do so.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it. Put a square peg in a round hole, just never seems to fit. And you
This is Bianca Belair.
Hey, this is Kevin Owens.
Hey, it's Seth freaking Rollins.
It is the man, Becky Lynch. It's Rhea Ripley here, and you're listening to Wrestle Radio Australia.
Hello and welcome to Making Chicken Salad as part of the Wrestle Radio Australia network, Australia's longest running wrestling podcast. That's right. Lock up your grandmothers, whatever. I'm back. I'm a year older. It was my birthday yesterday. I'm not Lachlan Albert. No. I'm Jeff Setti, and it's great to be back. I have missed you all 6 weeks. It was a long time. It's the longest break I've had in 3 years, and it's probably going to be an annual event now. Some will love that. But tonight we're talking... Yeah, thanks for popping on that, Todd. Tonight we're talking about a great show live at the Mounties 7, and we are joined by not Jeff. No. It's the man who is one half of James Adultman. It's Jamie Apps. How you going, Jamie?
I am good. I didn't realize I was half a person.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and it's always good to see you, mate. And joining us on the other side, as always, is the other half of James Adultman. It's Todd Eastman. Toddles, good to see you, man.
It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. You forgot WrestleMania tipping maestro, king of predicting the angles. Yes, sure. You really did. I mean, why are you shaking your head, Jamie? You know it's true.
You're still
you can't deny it. Fuck, mate, well, we've got a whole year.
Mate, he was talking about the G1 for about 3 years. I mean,
I forgot all about that. That's back to backs, baby. That's back to backs.
Oh gosh! Now we got Best of Super Juniors coming up.
Right now, this is my last show. Hot Todd, fuck off. Anyway,
there we go.
Anyway, we're talking about live at the Mounties 7, a PWA event that happened some time ago. Let's go from top to bottom. We opened the match. We opened the show with the velocities of Jude the Dude London and Paris de Silva going up against and defeating the regime of Backman and Ricky South. Jamie, were you at this show?
No, because it was Easter weekend, and travel to Sydney on Easter weekend is horrid.
But you've obviously caught it live. Caught the YouTube video. This is free on YouTube, as Lachlan would say. Matty Huss with Todd's Mania tipping victory lap is going longer than Triple H's Hall of Fame speech at this rate. Hey, Matty, nice to see you, mate. Yeah, it is. I mean,
I've just got no one else to thank but myself.
Yeah,
it's me.
Aren't you a face now? Anyway, Jamie, what did you think of the velocities? The velocities against the regime.
I really enjoyed this match. It was a great way to kick off the show, the classic sort of speed versus power combo, and it was a really simple story in that sense, but they executed it so well.
Yeah. Todd?
Yeah, very much so. Like, I always like, and I know I probably refer to it every time. Every time I see a team like the regime take on the velocities, I'm always going to say, okay, this is a perfect team like Aussie Open were to velocities to help, like with their moves and all that sort of stuff. And I really dug it. Like, I love both of these teams. I love the regime as a tag team. I think they're great. I think really, and I said it when we reviewed the last like PWA main show, I think they should be the tag champions. They really should, because to me, they can work with everybody and make everybody look good. Yeah. So the only like downside I think I have to this match is, and we talked about this before we went to air, is that I feel like they sort of went a little bit fast and loose with the lucha rules. For in some like instances, like there was an instance where they threw one of the velocities out, and then Backman distracted the ref so Ricky could like take advantage in the classic heel tag team way. But really, if it's like the lucha rules, the other velocity member could have just got in the ring and started wrestling, and it would have been fine. But for that, I was just like, oh, isn't this not the? But it was the only thing that sort of like, if this is the lucha rules, because basically all PWA tag matches are contested under lucha rules, then I think that it was just like a misstep because it fit what they wanted to do with the match. I don't know about you guys.
No, I've noticed that in previous matches they are a bit loosey-goosey with the lucha rules.
Yeah, I think very much, lucha rules meaning no tags. You can roll out at any time, but there was a bit of a snafu with that. I mean, look, you're never going to get a bad match with the velocities and the regime. You just won't. And Nick Galea, I mean, the velocities are great, obviously, but man, they need to change. Great match, but felt done 100 times already. I have to agree with you, Nick. But it's still bell to bell. It's still really, really good.
I think like cosmetically they need like a facelift of some description. Like a change up of gear, a change up of like something different. I know what he means, because it's just like, okay, I feel I've been watching these guys in the same sort of way for the last 5-6 years. When nothing has really changed about their look or their gimmick or their, it doesn't feel like it's, and I know this, it probably sounds bad to say, it doesn't feel like they've evolved. It feels like they're one of the best tag teams. They're just going to stick with this. This looks fine.
I think they need to do something like what they've done in Newey recently and have like that heel run where they just shitty heels, like we're the best, like we know it, and that's kind of the run that they went on in Newey and kind of freshen them up a bit, but they haven't done that in PWA just because they are so loved by everyone.
And it's
I kind of feel like cosmetically too, because it's always the same gear.
It's especially writ large when they've got a team like MK Plus Ultra who are constantly evolving and changing, particularly their look. But they are fantastic. Like, there's no doubt they're an excellent tag team, and this was always going to be terrific. They were also really, they were slightly heelish in Slam, and that worked wonderfully. Like, they were really, really good at being just that little bit heelish, and I think they're great. But yes, I agree. A cosmetic change, and maybe even make them slight bullies, like just
a refresh. That's all. Just to freshen up.
Yeah, I think a heel turn is really what we're kind of hinting at.
On the regime front,
hang on.
Sorry, Jim?
On the regime front too, it's kind of getting to the point where we're going to lose the momentum with these guys, because they get to a point and you're like, oh, they're about to like go into championship mode, and then they lose 2 or 3 in a row.
And I hate to say it because I don't want to say it. Feels very back painy.
Yeah.
where back pain had a lot of momentum, and it was just like that. And then they just don't pull the trigger on them. Like, we'll get you up here, but you're not going to get because you need that. Like, I firmly believe you need, if you've got guys the size of Backman and the size of Ricky, you need those guys to win the titles and be a dominant tag team for a little while at least. So the baby faces have something they have to beat. They have some hill they have to climb, some insurmountable odd they have to face.
As you guys both know, I kind of listened in a fair bit while I was on hiatus, and I was shocked because I never watched the show, but I was shocked when you guys mentioned that they didn't actually beat the Backslide Girls. Now, you know, not a knock on the Backslide Girls, but you're right. It should be a tag team as dominant as the regime should hold those titles. Also, and, you know, some of it might be, we don't want to give Ricky a belt, so he's always with a belt. But he hasn't had a belt for 18 months, almost 2 years. So I think it's in PWA. I think it's quite fresh if he comes out and he's got that belt. And as Nick has said, it's also hard to take the regime seriously when they never actually achieve anything. And I've got to agree with that.
And also, like, it sounds like, I know this might sound weird, but I've never actually heard or seen a promo with the two of them where they sort of put across their mission statement.
Yeah,
So
they never see him like run the cameras off. Like,
no, it's always like, it's always like Rosie and that doing a job as commentators going, this is what they believe and this is what they, which is great because they're like Rosie and that, like we've said before, best commentary team in the country. But there comes a time when you need to hear from them. Like, I'd like to hear, like, I can't actually remember the last time I've heard Backman do a promo. I'd like to hear that.
And Ricky's a good promo.
Ricky's a great promo. But let's face it too,
really
Ricky's also kind of with Backman to help bring him along in some respects. When you look at it, like he's kind of, so let him talk a little bit. Let him see what these guys do. Like, not every promo in PWA has to be North Shore Wrestling.
No,
like you can give a promo to everybody, other people
who are very good.
It's like it's not taking away from them. I'm just saying it doesn't have to always be those guys.
You know, I think one thing MCW do really well is they highlight a wrestler, and especially someone young. Like in the last year, they've given Robbie Thorpe the mic and he's nailed it. They've given Lucky O'Leary the mic and he's nailed it. You know, they're really good at grabbing people and going, all right, here's your shot on the mic. And if it doesn't quite work, then they get him to shoot a promo and they edit the promo together. So I think there's lots of ways. If Backman's not that strong speaking, throw him in a promo or just make him silent but deadly, standing behind Ricky, you know, sort of cracking the knuckles and doing this sort of shit, because I think it'll really, really work. Yeah, I agree with Nick here. He says, Nick says, comparing the regime compared to Third Eye as an example. Third Eye looked like a team with a reason to be teaming. The regime just look like two random guys teaming. Great wrestlers, obviously, but give me a reason to care. Yeah, I've got to agree.
Oh, they've got matching tights now. They have got matching tights. So, I mean,
there we go.
They are working. No, but I mean, like, it's important. Like,
yeah, I get what you are saying. I tell you what I did like. I liked the next match a lot. Kai Drake defeating EC Brownie. Kai Drake is just so watchable, and Brownie is clearly getting some good mileage and beginning to really, really put some good matches together. Todd, what did you think of this one?
I think this match did the job it was supposed to do for Kai. And give him a big monster that throws him around, and he overcomes that and shows that he's not like just a pushover. He can beat some big guys like this. He can beat, which means that when he actually gets his like title shot, he's got a real chance against Charlie.
Yeah. And I'll ask a question on that after I ask Jamie what you thought of this match.
Yeah, I thought it was perfect for the get Kai Drake some momentum going into the title match. And like I said, EC Brownie really impressed me as like this monster brawler character. And I heard Rose spoke about his red beard as well. Makes me think like they're building that kind of Ranger faction storyline with Bonza. I wonder if they might be trying to build EC up to toss him in there and have another monster tag team to sort of be on the level of the regime as well.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think that Brownie didn't do anything wrong, but it was clearly a showcase for Kai Drake. And in that, it was a very good showcase for Kai Drake. Right now, Kai is absolutely one of the hottest baby faces in that company. And he's doing fantastic work, and it's really, really good to see. He's got a different kind of look and presence, and I'm really digging it. I think this was terrific. Do we have anything to add on this match, or are we?
No, I think it's great. I think it was good. I think it's good.
Yeah. Now, one of the highlights for me, Third Eye are defeated by the one night only reuniting prefix. Billy Preston and Jimmy Townsend got the win on this one. I'll just talk about this one first, if you don't mind, boys. I thought this was great fun. I mean, hearing that music and seeing them come out in the old gear and clearly enjoying themselves. And I think Third Eye also rose to the occasion of after the match. I'll just announce that Jimmy's taken some time out and going to Canada and working over there. So he said 2 years, and I think that's his minimum. So we might not see Jimmy for a long time. So this was a nice way to see them out as the prefix, and just a really lovely moment. The match, it wasn't perfect. I acknowledge that.
I completely disagree. I thought it was great. That was a great tag team match for him.
Yeah.
No.
Like
what I'm saying is
fun, silly nostalgia match.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but what I'm saying is it didn't, like, not everything was as crisp as you would expect and things like that, but they haven't teamed together in 5 years. So there's no real surprise that there was a little bit of rust, but it was great for what it was. I'm agreeing with you there. You didn't let me finish, Todd, but it was great. Yeah, I loved it. Todd, what did you think beyond your interrupting comment?
Yeah, no, smart ass. How long? When are you taking a break again? I think it was just really good. You could tell it was something like Jimmy wanted to do as sort of his last thing before he went away. He wanted to team with his mate one more time, and putting him in there with two guys like Xander and with Third Eye is the perfect foil for them.
Yeah,
perfect, because there's no real danger of Third Eye getting cheered, and they're that type of gimmick where they could be a serious heel, but they can also be a comic heel when needed. And the thing I love about Xander, and I've said this before, is that he never breaks gimmick when he's in there, which is so good. It's such a underrated quality to have when you just do not break gimmick and you constantly stay in character that whole time. And that's what he did. Just all that, the hand tennis, the handball spot,
the handball spot was great.
I loved it. That and also there was a tag team move that they did that Xander and Thigh did, which was amazing. He had the guy bent over and Thigh came off the ropes, and it was almost like Xander hip tossed him into a blockbuster. I love that move. I thought that was so good because again, it's something I don't think I've ever seen before, which is great. I love that. Just the fact that they can do that on these sort of matches as well. So I really, really enjoyed this match. It was one of, if not possibly my favorite match. I think this and Shane Will were my two favorite matches of the night. Not that I didn't like Velocities and Regime. I just like these other two matches just a little bit better.
Yeah. Jamie, what did you think?
Yeah, I enjoyed this one as well. I thought this was like the perfect, in contrast to the Velocities, this was the perfect use of the Lucha rules because like they were using it and Jay Sorbet on the outside for Third Eye to, even though they lost this match ultimately, it was a great way to be like, this is them showing that they're better as a trio. So that when they do come back for the premiership, they've got that momentum and, we might have lost as a tag team, but as a trio, we're much better together and we can use these rules and different intricacies to our advantage going forward.
Yeah. Now I'm sitting in your seat. Can I say it? Hey, to me, it would have been really, really nice if Cherry had been in the prefect's corner for the last match that they're going to do for now. That's not a complaint. It's just an observation. No. And Cherry is well and truly retired at this time, and I respect that, but it would have been lovely to see her come out and cheerlead for the guys one last time. Andy from Bob Vance Refrigeration says the only reason for watching these Green Lantern shows is to see people have a great opportunity to flesh out and explain their characters to us. I'm sorry. I still have no idea who Third Eye is or why they exist. Okay.
Yeah, that's another one that could use like a promo.
Yeah, but like I've seen their promos, so I know what like Xander's whole deal is. Xander's a conspiracy theorist. He thinks everyone are lizard people. He like the Earth is flat. You're all sheep. Come and join me.
It has been explained. I think there was a Rumble a few years ago where he grabbed the mic and just started espousing his theories, and it was pretty funny.
I think he even tried to do it in the opening of the Premiership as well.
Yeah,
because he's like, if you know Xander, the way Xander speaks is just Xander. Like he always over enunciates his words. That is just Xander, and he has a little bit of a theater background, so he projects his voice that he doesn't really need a microphone a lot of the time when he's in that ring doing those spots because like he'll speak loud enough that the crowd will get what he's trying to do, and he's like, "Join me, you can be so much greater." Like it's just I love this change of like if you knew Xander up here to the gimmick that is Xander now, 1,000 times different and amazing.
He's very special as a live performer.
It's interesting that those with theatre backgrounds are really doing cool, different kind of gimmicks. Like down here, it's no secret that Jab has quite a theatrical background, and you can see that in everything that Jab does, and also Xander as well. So that rings large to me, and I don't entirely agree with you there, Andy. Big surprise. After this, Jack J. Bonza gave, and I really like this. Surprisingly, Jack took a lot of bumps and gave a lot to Marley Paletti. I really like this match. I think Marley's got a bright future and he's got a unique look, and I really, really like that. I really do. Keanu Review sums it up nicely. Xander and Jimmy found their thing, unlike Paul Billy. I think Billy's just a comedy act now, and he's a good one.
I think Billy should have stuck with Big Brother Billy.
Yeah,
I think that was great, and the crowd was so behind it. Yeah, it was just starting to catch, and all of a sudden he turned into Silly Superstar, which I'm like, I don't know what that is.
No,
like Big Brother Billy. It was almost like a Bray Wyatt kind of thing where he could host his own TV show, and that's what his promos could have been because he had the whole cast of characters with him, but then just sort of went away from it. I don't know if that's a him thing or if that's a PWA thing or if that I have no idea. But if he's happy doing what he's doing, then he's happy doing what he's doing.
I mean, it's possible that a lot of the faces behind some of those masks are now, on the green shows and on the main roster shows. So probably
the thing about PWA is that there's always
there's always guys you can chuck under those.
There's always Dingo.
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with you. It's a shame. It's a shame. It would have been nice to see more. Anyway, Jack J. defeated Marley Paletti in 11 minutes 38 seconds. Jamie. Oh, actually, I'll go with Todd first. Todd, what do you think?
Again, this is very much like Kai Drake and Brownie, but a little different. With it was just pretty much let's put the most experienced hand we have on the show, aside from Ricky, in the ring with someone who's really green, and we'll get a good match out of them, which I think is great. It's and Nick's right. Paletti has a huge upside. He really does. It is just a matter of seasoning with these guys, and they have to get their first first shot somewhere. And the premiership's cool, and you get like maybe one shot at that because like with those guys they got sort of eliminated. Somali sort of had his shot doing that. But I think like Bonza is like, I know he has detractors, but he is one of the most solid in-ring workers in the country, and someone that can make somebody look a lot better than they at times have any right to be. Marley is going to get there, but it's just going to take a while. Like, I don't want to strap a rocket to him, but I'm really interested to see how he'll be in a year.
Yeah, I would completely agree with you. Jamie, your thoughts, mate?
Yeah, same thing. One of my notes was a lot of potential for Marley. I do also kind of feel a little bit bad for any like Islander performer at the moment, because all they get is, do it, my tribal chief. I'm like,
my tribal chief,
Oh, the crowd was really grinding my gears on that stuff. I was like, poor guy, like let this guy live his own character, but his character kind of leans into it as well a little bit. So,
yeah, I think I completely agree with you. There are times where you want the crowd muted. I think that was one of them where you don't want to hear them. You don't want to hear that. I agree with you both. I think Marley Paletti has a huge upside. He's got a bright future, and they just need to kind of massage it right and put him with the right people. I can see him going into a tag team for a while. One thing, we were talking about Billy, and I wouldn't mind seeing Billy be a guy they use more as a tag partner to some people to sort of season them. And I think that Marley's a good case in point there. Because like, say what you want to about Billy, he's really good in ring. Like, he can go in ring. Yeah. So, I
also think sort of like his gimmick doesn't lend itself to just being a tag team guy with anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's sort of like
you'd have to switch it up again and go into a more serious.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. But look, I thought this was great. As I said, Bonza gave him a surprising amount of offense, because I sat on the couch and thought, oh, this will be a 3-minute match. This is just to get
I did too.
And the longer it went, the more I was getting into the hope spots for Marley, going, come on, kid, you can do it. Because at this kind of show, Bonza loses nothing in fact, Bonza never loses anything by losing, because he's always so credible. As Nick said, though, to be fair, this is a school holiday show and it's largely kids and families, so you're looking at their point of reference. Yeah, quite true, mate. Quite true. After this match, for a future title shot, Will Keatis was pinned cleanly by Shea Cassidy. Shea Cassidy took out the victory in 11 and a half minutes. This one I thought was terrific. I think both of them are so crisp in ring. Shea Cassidy is just phenomenal. So much presence and such a great worker. I like that she's now removing the bear. It's less of a distraction when the bear's not on there.
I'm so happy to see that.
And she probably got tired of it as well, because it can't be comfortable bumping in the same spot for a 12-minute match whenever she moves. So there's probably...
Yeah. Oh, it's also got to get in the way. It has to get in the way where it was sitting.
Definitely going to get in the way.
It'd be like if you're like a Scottish gimmick wrestler and you were wrestling with a sporran on. Yeah. It would get in the way all the time.
And Will Keatis, as we were saying off air, Will Keatis' in-ring has finally caught up with is catching up very quickly with his promo work, or caught up with his promo work, and he has become quite the worker. I absolutely love this. I thought this was great, because right up, it could have gone either way. Like, I would have been quite happy if Will had won, and I was bloody ecstatic that Shea won. And I thought...
Well, the thing is that they set it up with a promo earlier in the night, because the match was already signed with Shea and Charlie. Chess. It was already signed that it was just going to be champion versus champion match. There was no actual titles on the line. So the way they put the promo out there is like, well, this match could go either way. They could make it so like North Shore Wrestling get themselves another, like a tag title shot. Yeah. Or Shay gets an actual title shot at Chev's title. So I love the way that they did that, because you're like, a lot of times on these shows, you'll go into it like, well, how about if I put my career on the line? If you beat me, I will quit. You're like, well, you're not losing this match, because no one's getting retired at a Mounties show. You know what I mean? But this way, it was like, okay, both of these outcomes could happen. I loved the match. I thought it was so good. Will working on the leg and Shay never forgetting to keep selling it. I love that about like massive props for her on that. Even when she was celebrating at the end of the match and doing a dance, she also like pulled up every now and then because she twinged the knee. And like, I love that about, I think that shows her growth as a worker, where I don't know if 6 months or a year ago, she wouldn't have just forgot about that leg and kept working. Whereas this time, every time she'd stop a quick movement or something, it was pull up and, Jesus, that hurt. I shouldn't have done that sort of thing. Loved it.
And that's a credit to the PWA trainers, really.
100%.
Bonza and Robbie and Madison, they just do such good work. But not only is it credit to the trainers, Shay has to listen and has to be present in the conversation when she's having them, and she clearly is. She clearly wants to get better, and it's working. Whatever Shay's doing, it's absolutely working. Matty Huss has chipped in with, I look forward to a future where Shay gets a manager in a life-size bear costume to be Barnaby's big brother. Todd, are you traveling to Sydney?
No suits, brother. I've had to be a paddle pop line before. Do not recommend.
Jamie, what did you think? Shay versus Will?
I thought this was my favorite match of the show. Like, it was a great showcase for both of them as well to be, look, we're totally compelling as singles performers, not just in our various groups. And like, they both are mega underrated, and like, they have their characters down, and now they're getting the in-ring together as well. So they're both sort of progressing nicely. I didn't like that they showed the graphic for Chevs versus Cassidy earlier in the night, though.
Yeah, but they only showed it as... No, because they were the graphic just said champion versus champion. Yeah. And they already alluded to that. They didn't say the title was on the line at any point.
No.
Okay.
So like, I give that a massive pass because of that. They were just like, this match is happening anyway. That's why she's like, well, I've got a match with Charlie. Yeah. So if you want your shot, how about if I win, that becomes a title match?
Yeah.
Like, I like that they did that. I like, and just like, this is now back-to-back matches that we've looked at of Shay's, where we've seen like her growth. Like, so that match with like Erica wasn't a fluke. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You can have like a really good match. Like, she's pulled back-to-back performances together right now where we're just like, wow, this girl is really, really good.
And I know this might not be popular consensus, but I think the Backslide girls should drop the title as quickly as possible, the regime, and then you split them up. Then you make Shay a solo star, because I reckon she's there. I reckon she's ready. And as I said, might not be popular. I'm sorry if it's not, but it's just the direction I'd go in, because she's so good. She's getting so good.
Yeah. Well, Kingsley's out of the country at the moment too, so I think Shay's going to get a lot more opportunities to go out there and be a singles performer.
Yeah. Speaking of singles, there was a 20-man battle royal, the PWA Mounties Cup. All right, let's do this. Big Fudge defeated Aaron Jake, Ari Slayer, Cosmo Cooper, David Streamer, El Phoenician, Jack Osborne, Jay Sorbet, K.E. Prince, Lockie the Tradey, Lil Tony Stellino, Maleki McCabe, Melissa Avarillo, Rita Stone, Skaterboy Pidgey, The Anomaly, Tommy Trigger, Tony Sin, Velkin Wild, and one night only returning the greatest wrestler in Australian history, James Adeltman. No one sure who's under the costume. Don't lie to me otherwise. Look, this for me enunciated that it is definitely for families. But saying that, Fudge winning, you love Fudgy. He's great. Hello. And interestingly, he's had a fair bit of coverage of late, as was discussed on this very podcast just a few weeks ago. It's a battle royal. I mean, The hell, it's a battle royal. What do you do? But it was great. It was well booked and it was a lot of fun. I just think James Adultman didn't last long enough. I don't know why. Maybe one of them had to leave the country.
One of them?
Scott, what did you think?
Half of them?
Half of them.
His torso had to leave the country.
Yeah. No,
Legs and groins still here. Torso, head had to leave. I enjoy it for what this is. It's a battle royal. I really enjoyed it. I think that there are certain people that I think they did this better than what they did with the one that they did the big show not long ago with the 8-man. I can't remember
the
that
scramble thing.
Yeah, I think they did a better job with this than what they did with that. And also, Melissa Averillo, is she a giant or what? Is she bigger than
She's very
Lena?
tall.
Is she taller than Lena?
I don't think so.
She's not.
She's close.
No, but
I was going to say she'd be fucking pushing it.
Yeah, she's very tall.
She was much taller than Rita, and Rita's quite tall as well.
No, Rita's not tall at all, bro.
Rita's smaller than me.
You're about my height, mate. You and I are about the same height.
Rita's like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They shoot her tall. Like
she's Madison size, Nick Galea
Madison size from Nick Galea. Thanks, Nick.
But she's got that, like, you can tell that she's fresh because she's almost got that almost baby giraffe walk about her when she's in certain spots of, because you can tell that she's not used to that ring movement and that. But when she gets her like ducks in a row, I think she's going to make some waves just through just her size alone. It's hard to like old mate used to say, you can't teach size. No. So I mean, I think it's a massive, because straight away she caught my eye in the ring. I'm like, holy shit, who's she? Jesus Christ. But like I thought she did great. I think Jack Osborne did really good in someone that we hadn't really seen before.
Didn't they make him look great too?
Yeah, they made him look great. I want to see more of Skater Boy Pidgey. Yeah. Only because I like Pidgey. I think Pidgey's a great dude. But he's also got that thing that translates through a camera. Where it's like, you can say, oh, I like that guy. Even though I didn't really see much, like, oh, I like that guy. I want to see more of him. That was really good. It was also just a good chance for a lot of people to get out there and just have a soft launch, so to speak, in front of those crowds. Yep. But yeah, I liked it. And of course, Fudgy has to win it. Like, you couldn't really have Aaron Jake or Rita or like Jack Osborne win it too, especially since, because I thought only two of them, I think only two of them were there. I think it was only like Jack and Will, because I reckon the other two were probably at that other gig that was happening across town at the same time. So not all of North Shore Wrestling were there, so you couldn't really go out there and get the heat, if you know what I mean, as a full team. But yeah, Fudgy as winning. I would like to see Fudge just win every one of these ones until he decides to retire. Every time there's a battle royal, that should be just Fudge's domain. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's won 2 in a row at Mounties. So.
Yeah, exactly. And if anyone beats him, it should be a guy in a mask who unveils himself as being Concrete Davidson.
Yes.
To finally get that battle royal win over him.
Yeah, but I think Conco is taking an extended hiatus, and
yeah, he is.
And we love you, Conco. We hope you.
I love that little mini feud they had over
random
the
payback.
Rumble. Yeah, and just the Rumble thing they had with the pick your poison, and so Sting brought someone out, and then Fudge brought out actual poison.
Yeah. On a side note, we had them as a tag team at a WrestleBrania in Sydney some years ago, and it was so funny. So funny, the two of them. Jamie, what were your thoughts on the Battle Royal, mate?
Yeah, it was a fun match. I think they did a great job of like giving enough people little storylines throughout it. Like we said, Jack Osborne, they made him look like a dominant force, which he really needed following the Black Label show that they just had where he was revealed on a big stage. Rita got a nice showcase to push her a little bit. I'm hoping we get more of her in PWA, maybe like pairing her with what's his name? Ben Braxton. Put their tag team together and bring that down to PWA. And then even Cosmo and Jay Sorbet had a little crossover as like a bit of a teaser for the Premiership as well, because those two teams are still running around in there. So it's like, oh, we're carrying storylines over to these shows. They're not these satellite standalone things. So they are helping build towards the Black Label shows, which is very nice, which you don't always see with the Green Label shows.
No, I like that they're almost using them as their as their Raw and SmackDowns kind of things.
Yeah, especially now that they're at Mounties pretty regularly, it's kind of like a good in-between show between Black Labels.
Nick has mentioned that Rita and Braxton are teaming at the next PWA show, so that should be good.
Awesome.
I thought these are, I agree with you both. I thought this was great. A great showing for Jack Bonza. Not Jack Bonza, sorry, Jack Osborne. And yeah, little Tony Stellino was great. So fun. Such a fun character, as again was mentioned. It was nice seeing some of the acts we don't see often, like Tommy Trigger as well, and some of those guys who really impressed in small roles. A battle royal's about a lot of stuff going on and building stories, and I thought this did this quite well with the right winner. Like there's, Fudge was great, and
I forgot this because I didn't mention last week because we weren't talking PWA, but I'll mention it this week. Rosie actually messaged me because you know how I had the thing where I was like, they should have probably known who he was, who Jack was coming out. He's like, oh, that's blah blah's brother. Yeah, Rosie messaged me and goes, I legit had no idea who Jack was. I didn't know he was coming out. I'd never met him before.
Oh.
So Rose did not know who he was.
I wonder if that's just because Rose showed up late for that show and like maybe wasn't expecting
100%.
to be there.
100%.
Matt Huss brings up a good point, Matt in chat. PWA is so well set up production-wise that they could easily incorporate backstage interviews into their live show to help propel storylines and give mic opportunities to different talent. I think definitely in their intermission, it would be really, really nice to see, an interview with Xander or an interview with the Velocities or an interview with someone to just...
You know what's hard?
Yeah, instead of just that countdown clock.
Yeah. It's hard to do it through the show because I know that, like, as someone who books a show, I have made that mistake before where I'm like, okay, I'm going to put a lot of promos through the show, like before matches, just to try and introduce people to who these people are. And I kind of found that kind of didn't so much drag the show out, but it was like people just wanted to see the wrestling more than anything else at that time. So maybe it's better for like if you're not streaming it live, it's probably a better thing because people can choose to fast forward or choose to watch it or whatever they want to do. But I think doing it on a live show, putting them together as packages. The problem with that too is when you're running a live event and if you put together a package of promos for people to watch, they're not getting up and they're not going to get drinks.
Yeah,
they're not getting up and going to buy. That's kind of what venues want them to do during an intermission.
Speaking of live events, this weekend is massive for Australian wrestling, and thanks to you see that was a Lachlan segue, that one.
Yeah, it was.
And,
well done.
Thanks to our good
before you do that, because I know that was great, but we should possibly give an overall.
Oh, our overall thoughts on Live at the Mounties 7. I'm quite happy with that. Jamie, do you want to kick it off, mate?
I actually really enjoyed this show. I didn't go into it with high hopes, but I thought it was fantastic. I would say it was better than the last Black Label show, which is probably very controversial.
No, well, not for me because I kind of really agree with you. I went into this show thinking it was a little look behind the curtain. I'm like, geez, no one's really released anything for us to watch and review for the show, like as of late. And I'm really going to have to dig to see something. And luckily I found that they put up the Easter show because we thought, Jamie and I both thought, oh, they're just going to put up the Battle Royal and that's all they're putting up. But then when I saw it was the full show, I'm like, cool, we'll talk about this. So I went into it just thinking, all right, this is just going to be your run-of-the-mill like show just for the crowd, blah, blah. And I 100% agree with Jamie. I think this was better than their last Black Label show. Matches weren't overly dragged out. They all had a part in the ongoing overarching story. I think they did a great job. I would love to see more of this sort of stuff on a Black Label show.
That's understandable. I didn't watch the last Black Label show because when I took a break, I took a full break and went and watched a bunch of comedy, 27 comedy festival shows, excluding my own. So yeah, in those 3.5 weeks. Quite amazing. I thought this was lovely, and especially for Jimmy's last night for a while, just lovely. I when the prefects came back, I was like, oh yeah, that's wonderful. Where's James Adoltman? I didn't want them not to bring back James Adoltman one more time. And
was that the first time they wore that gear though? I can't remember. I can't remember them wearing that gear. I always thought they just wore the singlets.
No, that was the first time they wore that gear.
Was it? Because I like even the knee pads, even the shin pads were like pull-up socks.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. I think there was some new stuff. I think the trunks were the same, but I think there was some new extras.
I love the look. I thought it was so good. It was a great little nostalgia kick, and perfect for him to do it going into their intermission, so he could have a proper goodbye. Because like 2 years is a long time.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and really like the more I saw that, I'm just like, really, have they missed an opportunity with him before he left? And you have to think maybe they did, like a short run with that solo PWA
title. Yeah.
Yeah,
even
like something like
that.
Because like he may never come back. He could end up getting something from the 2 years in Canada, and they don't have that chance to bring him back as like this big momentous return of Jimmy Townsend has found his way back home and then wins the title. They may never get that.
Yeah,
and you know, let's acknowledge that he's grown a lot and he's become such a watchable worker. So very good, and if anyone deserves success, it's someone like Jimmy. So on behalf of us and Lachlan as well, Jimmy, all the best in Canada. We hope that you crack it, mate. And then you know, we're here with everything crossed for you, mate. And we hope you do well. But what a lovely show to go out on.
And as the generator, there you go. And as usual, like if you're listening to this show on the podcast, the link for the show will be in the podcast description. I do actually really encourage you to go and watch this one, because like it wasn't overly hyped. It wasn't like the Chevs versus Jess. It wasn't really anything to. And when you look at it, they didn't even give it its custom like profile tile on YouTube. Like the tile for the thing is just Ricky South posing, not really a proper poster or anything. So you could easily, like we did, like Jamie and I easily missed it, thinking it was just going to be the Battle Royal and that was it. It was only that I saw the run time that I was like, oh, if that's a Battle Royal, that's an extremely long Battle Royal.
Yeah, this was like the PWA of old, like the ones that I was going to regularly, watching them live before they started streaming, and this is why I fell in love with PWA.
Yeah, that is the perfect like description of it. It's the old PWA that I really, really loved, and what got me into watching PWA more.
And remember, and I better say this, it's free on YouTube. That's right. You can just go and watch it. It's a great one for an afternoon, because if you've got your family around, you can just sit and watch it with them. There's nothing in there that's too risque or too, you know, wrestling hardcore to cause an issue. So well done to PWA for putting this wonderful show up. And as I said, thank you so much to Jimmy Townsend, not only for everything you've done, but also for that final send-off to bring back the greatest wrestler in Australian wrestling history, James Adoltman. Means a lot. I noticed Robbie Eagles is running from James Adoltman. That's all I'm going to say. Speaking of running, there's some events you want to run to this weekend, and we've got them all from our mate Michael Lee at Australian Wrestling Community Facebook page. Join that page if you don't already. In New South Wales, on Friday, May 2, we have Australian Wrestling Superstars. Saturday, May 3, brings us Newcastle Pro Wrestling Fight Night, spelled KNIGHT. Queensland, UPW, United Pro Wrestling Entertainment, Mexican wrestling on Saturday, May 3. South Australia, of course, our good friends at Riot City Wrestling, RCW, Mean Street Mayhem 59 on Saturday, May 3. TCW, Tasmanian Championship Wrestling down there, New Dawn, also on Saturday, May 3. Victoria, here in my home state, we have Adrenaline Pro Wrestling Breakout 54 on Friday, May 2. Lucha Fantastica, the anniversary in Melbourne on Saturday, May 3. And Peak Pro Wrestling Black Tie Brawl, Sunday, May 4. I am fascinated by Black Tie.
Yeah, I was going to say, just give that a little bit of a breakdown, Jeff.
It is people, I think, are going to be wrestling in tuxedos, and you're expected to go along in your finery and watch the show. I believe there's going to be music playing while wrestling's going on, and it will probably be of a classical nature. They're trying to hoit and toit at the same time, and I'm quite fascinated by it. It should be something. Who knows? It's going to be wild. Something. I hope it eventually makes its way to YouTube so we can have a look. And over there in Western Australia, EPW, Matt in chat says, I have my tux ready and my friends have their dresses organised too. Are you going with bros? Anyway, you're going with bros and Welchie and they're wearing dresses. Great. That's a good look. EPW Perth, I'm glad you popped so much on that one, Jamie. EPW Perth, Explosive Pro Wrestling Out of Control, Saturday, May 3. Coming up in Victoria, just around the corner, MCW High Stakes 2025. The MCW World Title, Ricky South against Caveman Ugg. MCW Tag Team Title, number 1 Contenders Tournament, first round match. Carlo Kennan and Jan Wen against Making Chicken Salad favourites, the Physicals, Jimmy Castle and Johnny Jets. The MCW Women's Championship, the special guest, Ref Erica Reed, Eugenie against Aisha. That's going to be something. Jarvis against Robbie Thorpe. This next match, shut up and take my money. It's Adam Brooks against Ryan Rapid. Lucas Fantasia against Lucky O'Leary and Rocky Monero against Edward Dusk. What a card. That is going to be quite extraordinary. Now, you can get your
tickets for that. Sorry. Thought you were about to move on.
No, I was about to continue pushing the fact that you can get your tickets at mcwtix.com.au. I may not have done this for a while, Todd, but I still know what I'm doing. So
it sounded like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Jamie, it sounded like he was moving through.
No, he was on the way.
You son of a bitch.
Now, you want to get your tickets from mcwtix.com.au. I don't know how many are left. I'm going to be hitting up the MCW crew now that it's May to beg them for a ticket, but that should be really good. Now, while I was away, quite clearly some things have happened, and they're not a pleasant thing to talk about because a lot of shit went down in your part of the world of late, Todd. A lot of shit.
Yeah, see.
And for once, you had nothing to do with it. No.
See.
And I feel that from my 2 cents on this, I feel that you guys nailed it last week. And, well, you spoke very well about what is a difficult situation. And I think you both said that the person involved, and I'm just going to say his name, York, doesn't get to do this anymore. He doesn't get to be a part of wrestling anymore. If he has gotten his life straight and if he has gotten himself straight, great, congratulations. But with that also comes the fact that you need to step away from this.
Yeah,
and
you lose your privilege to do this. This is a privilege.
You don't deserve to be part of this. I have utmost respect for both Tali and Tessa for walking away.
Look, I think it's just like to put a cap on what actually happened. I think, if anything, this was a massive positive step forward in the Australian wrestling community as a group that will band together when something like this happens. They go, no, shit's not happening. Sorry, not happening. Not doing it. We're not messing around with this shit anymore. Which I think is great, and I hope that it gets replicated in other places if stuff like this happens again. I hope it happens every time something out of order comes to light. Like, I don't enjoy reporting that sort of stuff.
It's that old saying of the issue that you walk past is the issue that you accept, and let's not walk past that kind of issue. Let's hope that it never ever happens again. Let's not walk past this kind of issue. Now, Todd, you were going to bring us a bit of an update.
Yeah, well, we had over the weekend after our show and after a lot of other people had talked about it. One of the owners of Redcastle Entertainment, Heath, put up a post in the Redcastle crew chat, but then he also screenshot that post and put it up on his own Instagram page. So I'm just going to read what he wrote, and then I've got another little sort of an update from that. So Heath wrote on, I think it was the 27th, I'm pretty sure. I want to sincerely apologize to everyone and take full responsibility for the decisions I made leading up to last Saturday's show. I especially want to apologize to Tali and Tessa. I hold no ill will towards them or anyone else for distancing themselves from us or their reactions. I don't hold resentment against anyone else who feels they can't continue with us. I have failed as a leader, and I have failed my community. I was blinded by arrogance and my vanity, and I made a number of stupid decisions, and now the consequences are mine to deal with. Again, I am sorry for the hurt I have caused anyone. I'm sorry for the hurt I've caused anyone and the dreams and progress I have destroyed. I will apologize to you personally on the phone or face-to-face if you feel that is needed. I want to make things right, but I feel like I'm not sure there is a way forward. I'm not asking anyone for forgiveness, as I don't feel it's right to. As such, Redcastle Entertainment is on hiatus. I can't give you an answer as to if or when we will be back. So that was posted, I think, in the afternoon. I can't be 100% sure. But then not too long after that, our good friend Lachlan, who's no longer here. Our good friend Lachlan, who isn't here tonight. I know. Man, I had a joke then, but I'm not going to use it. Lachlan got a message because I was originally I was going to say, this is your story, brother. This is yours to tell. He's not here to tell that story, unfortunately, so I'm going to have to. He got a message, an actual DM from Heath not too long after that saying, here's an exclusive. I'm selling the ring and have given the titles to the people who won them. We're done. So as of last Saturday, Redcastle Entertainment has ceased to operate. So, which taking this episode aside, I think is an actual shame, to be honest with you, because when they started, their first show, I kind of really dug, because their first show was basically, it felt like dinner theater with wrestling, which I kind of thought was pretty cool. It was like a play, but wrestling matches sort of intertwined into the play. There was a musical act in it. There was people had lines. There was a script. The script led to matches in the show, and I really kind of dug it. They kind of went away from it in the shows afterwards, but that first original show, I'm just like, this is something that could really do something if it was handled right. It's a shame that a series of bad decisions has put an end to what could have been. But it's just all over. It's a shame what's happened, and I don't hate Heath and Karina for what they've done. They obviously had reasons behind the scenes that we have no idea about why they took the stance that they took at that time. Personal relationships are personal relationships. I'm not going to go into why or if they can. I just think it's a shame that this happened.
Okay. I've got to word this carefully.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, just give me my thoughts are, you are only represented by your actions. I had never seen a Redcastle show, but I think that you have to be represented by your actions. For example, we've had people be very upset at our show, and we've made the public apologies and eaten crow. Now, Heath has uncategorically eaten crow, but his action was still to back that person at that moment, and that is 1,000% wrong. So, as Nick Galea has said, what York can do, I feel the same way about Heath, not on a personal level, but in running shows, because if it's happened now, it'll happen again and again and again.
Yeah, I think my point of view is just sad that it has happened.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I saw the potential that they had. And it's just sad that a series of 100% really bad decisions has led them to losing something that they had a lot of passion in. Now, I have no idea what behind the scenes, the relationship that maybe York as a person has with the couple. I have no idea. But I don't know. It's just a shame. It's a shame that's happened. They've lost something that they really were passionate about because they thought they were maybe defending a friend.
Yep.
That
it also sucks from the performer's perspective as well. There's not a huge deal of opportunities in Queensland at the moment. There's probably half a dozen companies, and this is just one of them that is now gone for sort of that next tier of guys coming up and having an opportunity to get another rep in each month.
But it's
a decent place anyway.
Yeah.
I'm
like 100%. They're facing the consequences of their actions. I'm just sad that was their actions. Because
but I don't think Heath had a way back. It's really hard to chart a course back after that.
It would have been really hard. It would have been really hard.
Especially because the entire wrestling world knows about it. And while people want to work, especially someone who's going to draw a crowd would be going, I'm not sure I want to be involved in that.
Yeah, I'd like to see that thing I agree with as well, what Nick just said here. Putting aside everything else, I wouldn't know these two folks if I fell over them. It just makes me sad that they took the brunt of this while York fucks off back into the shadows. 100%.
100%.
100%.
Well said.
He's basically gotten away with no consequences at all, aside from basically being told by the whole of whole of Australian wrestling and half of New Zealand wrestling to fuck off, and we don't want you back here.
Yeah.
And have that as a warning to any other promotion in this country or in New Zealand that if you book this man on a show, it's probably the end of your show.
Oh, not even New Zealand. This will go to places like Malaysia and Singapore as well, through Carlo, through, it's gonna it's just
Matty Huff says it's a shame that after the breakout moment of the Super Show, the Queensland wrestling gets this claim. Do you know what though, Matty? I think the
response is good.
Yeah, I think what it did though is showed how strong Queensland wrestling is because everyone stood up and just went, "No, fuck this guy off. We don't want him here.
Yeah,
we don't want any of those people here."
Yeah,
whereas there was a time, maybe just before I moved up, where they would have just, we'll keep running with him. We don't care. We draw our 30 people. We don't care. They would have just kept doing it. Nowadays with Queensland wrestling, they will stand up and say, no, this isn't acceptable. This isn't that. And that's what I love about the way that everybody responded to this, aside from, of course, Heath and Karina. The people that knew, because there would have been a lot of wrestlers on that show that had no idea who the fuck he was.
No.
But the veterans there and the things had the thing to go, no, this is not good enough. I don't want to be a part of this show if he's on it. So you can remove him or keep me.
And I'll say it again. Thank you, Tali and Tess, for absolutely standing up and doing 1,000% the right things. I think what's horrified me most in this, and I didn't get to talk about this last week, is the fact that it sounds like Tali was very much blackmailed and sort of, but so many people came to see you.
Yeah, there was a little bit of emotional blackmail, but
that leaves a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah. It's
hopefully whoever buys that ring does something good with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, all right, should we go to break on that cheery note?
I think we need to just quickly talk about something else that's good in Australian wrestling. Get your tickets to MCW High Stakes on mcwtix.com.au. It's going to be a banger of a show. They always put a great show on. It's back in the Northcote Theatre, which is one of my favourite haunts because it's just a train ride away from me. mcwtix.com.au. I'll see you at High Stakes. And now, whatever Todd's got planned.
Yeah, who knows? All right, we're back in about 5 minutes, guys.
See you then.
Brooksy, what is there to say about you, Brooksy? You are the bloat. You are the pillar, the benchmark of Australian wrestling. Hell, you're an icon. You are my icon. For years I have been watching you. I have been studying you. Ever since the Polish Club days in Broadville. And you're also the Commonwealth champion. A championship that has so much prestige in Melbourne wrestling, if not the most. Brooksy, as a child, I wanted to beat you. And now, with the Intercommonwealth Championship on the line, I need to beat you. See you at High Stakes, Brooksy.
I never thought I'd be someone that the faithful accepted. It's just not something I'm used to. And I know that there are those that are never going to forgive the things that I did. I don't blame them. I don't regret doing them. But regardless how they feel about me, all of us can agree on one thing. It's time for change. See, they are sick of you contorting MCW into your image. I am sick of being your obsession. One by one, you have sent your goons to keep me from the MCW championship, and one by one, I have beat them. Robbie, Lucky, this agreement with Ricky, all your plans have failed. And I really thought that after Endgame, we were done. And then at Anniversary, I was a breath away from becoming the world champion. And you couldn't let that happen, not after everything. So you panicked, you snapped, you showed everyone that you're not some great mastermind. You are just a man with a power complex and a fragile ego. See, I can want change, but there is no way forward as long as you pull the strings. But I refuse to be stuck between what I am and what I will become. So at High Stakes, I challenge you, Rocky Monero, to fight me. Not so I can defeat you, because that won't do anything. I want to fight you because I want revenge. I want to hurt you really bad. I want change. And the only way that starts is by ending you.
Well, Rocky, you said that I would fumble under the brightest lights, and that just wasn't the case, was it? But I've got a taste now. I've got a taste of victory, and you weren't enough. I want more. Give me a bigger stage. Give me bigger lights. Give me a bigger guy. Give me Robbie Thorpe. Give me on High Stakes. I want to slap that dumb British beefcake all around the ring. And I can't wait for you to watch, Rocky.
It's been 6 long years since I've wrestled in Melbourne, and now Renegades of Wrestling have a new, impressive women's champion. Tonight, I took down Aisha, and I'm looking for a new challenger. I'm calling anyone out. If you want to challenge me for this Renegades of Wrestling Women's Championship, come get me.
5.5 years, 2019, been a while. I went 40 minutes. I came out of retirement and I went 40. I could have went another 20. I could go another 60. Do you know why? Do you know who I am? I'm a renegade.
Brother Gore and I did successfully defeat JXT and Funtime Phil, and we are now finally the #1 contenders for the Renegades Tag Team titles. It's about goddamn time! But I had secondary business tonight, very important business. Tonight, a shot at the Renegades Heavyweight Championship was on the line for whoever won a 20-man over-the-top rumble. But I was pretty confident that in my 25th year of violence, this was my night. However, I was putting my fairy tale quarter-of-a-century victory head-to-head with the aspirationalists' foregone conclusion. And what I didn't account for like a fool was that, Lachlan, you got yourself a protege. My protege has a protege. And he must be pretty bloody good, because that man, Hector Jones, cost me tonight. He cost my shot at that title. But it's not all bad, because if the student of my student is good enough to ruin my day, then I must be one hell of a mentor. So congratulations, Hector. Congratulations, Lachlan. Good luck on the title shot. An ambush. Brother Gore and I are coming for you.
Lots of Renegades of Wrestling action coming up. Some great promos there, including a fantastic one by Edward Dusk. All right. 3, 2, 1. We are back. Welcome back. Thanks for the clap, Jamie. We are back, and it's Making Chicken Salad. There is so much international news to get through. Firstly, thanks, Todd. It's never not. See? Always guess me. WWE. Bianca Belair will be sidelined for an unspecified amount of time after suffering an injury at WrestleMania 41. Belair appeared on Friday's WWE SmackDown in a backstage interview segment and revealed that she had suffered some broken fingers. That was a fantastic match. Like, I haven't given my WrestleMania thoughts. I know last year I said very much that there was about half the show that could have been on a Raw or SmackDown, even more so this year, I thought. But that match was a banger. Make sure you watch both triple threats. They were fantastic, the pair of them. And, of course, they were. Anything to add, boys, about Bianca being out for an undisclosed amount of time?
I think it's probably good at the moment because I don't know what they were going to do with her.
Yeah, I agree.
For a while. Like, I don't think they had anything that she could naturally just go into.
Yeah. She needs a refresh. She needs a character refresh. But there is nothing wrong with that. Zelina Vega has won her first career singles championship. Vega defeated what? Vega defeated Chelsea Green to win the WWE Women's United States Championship. Holy shit. On Friday, SmackDown in Fort Worth, Texas. I didn't watch SmackDown. I was away this weekend.
Oh, really?
Spoilers.
Second overall title in WWE and her first singles goal. You know what my chicken shit's going to be now, boys. Great for Zelina. That's all I'm going to say. I don't know.
Do you know what I love about this though? Is I think her and Chelsea were pretty much done a while ago. And then they had that botch finish where she wasn't supposed to get counted out. And they've gone, okay, let's go with this. And it's wound up with Zelina Vega finally winning a championship, which is, let's face it, as much as you love Chelsea Green, like that girl has worked her ass off for the last couple of years. And it's good to see like Zelina get this little like kudos and some a little reward for her hard work. And especially the night that her husband re-debuts in WWE as well. It's a nice little moment for him.
What? Cardona's in WWE. Sorry. Oh, no. Sorry, wrong one.
The other one. The other husband.
I read about that. I was like,
Jesus Christ, Jeff.
You said her husband. Could have been either. Yes.
Pronouns.
Zelina's
Pronouns,
husband,
pal.
Tommy and Alistair Black, Malachi Black, has debuted on SmackDown and is having his first match this week against The Miz. Always
perfect.
Always
perfect to have.
Always good to see him in. He's so good and so different to everybody else on that roster.
I love seeing everyone on fucking like Twitter and she's going, "Oh, his first match back is against The Miz." Yes, dickhead. It's an easy victory.
Yeah. Yeah. And The Miz loses nothing by losing.
Yeah. That dude can lose every week and still be fine. Like, it's a perfect person to be there as a literal punching bag.
I absolutely agree with you. And I have seen on YouTube Alistair's return, and it's great.
I'm glad he got the original music back.
Yeah, it's good to
not
hear
some
that
generic Def Rebel crap.
Yeah.
No, I think we know that Triple H is very big on Alistair Black from his time in NXT. So I would suggest he's going to come in for a mega push over the next year. I think I am so excited for this because a motivated Alistair Black is one of the finest in-ring performers. And let's hope that he stays motivated and happy. And this is a great way to bring him out. And another debut happened, and I can't imagine this was anything but a great match. Fraxium debuted on SmackDown against Legado del Fantasma, and that would have been fantastic because Fraxium is such a great tag team.
Yeah, very good little. Like, I look at it now, and that SmackDown tag team division is fucking stacked,
loaded.
Like,
Isn't
compared to the Raw, like I look at the Raw division, I'm like, yeah, okay, a couple of good workers there. But you got the SmackDown one, and it's just a murderer's row of good tag teams at the moment.
Can I put a little bit of a theory I've got to you boys while we have a few minutes? I think what's happening, and I don't know if it's conscious, but Raw is the men's division show. NXT is the women's division show. SmackDown is the tag team show. And it's almost becoming extremely
very clear,
viable in that way.
Yeah, because when you think about it, like technically John Cena's the champion and he just won't be around. Well, he will because he's got 36 dates. But it's not really like you're not going to see him wrestling every week on TV. No. So you've got the tag team that like you can have Street Profits go out there and have matches against fucking Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, DIY, Fraxium, like Legado. Like there are a lot of like Legado mightn't have had the push that the other teams have gotten. Still a very, very good tag team.
You give them 3 wins, call them number 1 contenders, and there's your push. You know what I mean? And the matches they can have, they can all have against each other. It's not just that; it's the matches they have against each other. My God. That's going to be great.
So, what do you think of the whole? Because we haven't really talked. So, what do you think of the whole Heyman, Seth, Bron Breakker
The trifecta of terror is what they're officially going to be called. What a shit name! I think that. I think it's good. I think there's going to be 1 or 2 more people added. I don't think they're done.
Somebody Google imaged Seth's jacket from Monday, and it's worth $15,000.
Shit.
The jacket he wore on Raw. It's like no wonder he didn't take any bumps. Do not fucking touch me. This is white and fucking expensive.
I think because I watched Raw this week, and I think that Sammy is the perfect person to begin because Sammy is so popular. He's so loved.
Yeah, he's so like white meat baby face.
Oh, he is. He is.
Like,
and I think that he is the perfect person. I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see where they go with this because they're still getting residual cheers. They really need to dive into being heels. But I'm interested in this. And I love that Bron Breakker's with him. I really do. It's just going to wind up elevating Breakker to be one of
like if they can work this so like in a year's time at the next WrestleMania, it's Seth against Bron.
Yeah.
There's Bron's elevation into the upper echelon of WWE's like a picture.
I agree with what Nick's saying here. The only thing is, if he's going to be a true heel, Braun has to drop the run around the ring spear. It is a bit like fucking Braun Strowman doing the choo-choo train thing.
Yeah.
It's just great. I'm all there for that, and they're definitely going to have a match at Backlash. And speaking of Backlash, here's the card so far. It is on Saturday, May 10. That is Saturday week, so we'll probably have a bit of a dive into it next week. Undisputed WWE champion John Cena defends against Randy Orton. I mean, we've never seen this match before. Look,
I'm still keen to watch it. I just am. After what they've been doing the last couple of weeks.
Oh, it's been great.
Yeah. This title run is just going to be the greatest hits of John Cena.
Yeah, I mean, look,
I love the whole thing. Basically, Orton just said, "Hey, look, you're so frustrated, mate. You need to go and get laid.
Yeah,
have a couple of kids, bro.
Have some
need
kids.
To calm down."
It was so funny.
And John, just the way John turned it around, like, how dare you?
Oh, it was so funny. It was
it's
so
perfect because
funny.
he's like a robotic person. So the way his like reactions are as a heel is just being robotic, and it works.
It works so well. I think that it's going to be the greatest hits of Cena as long as at Money in the Bank we get Punk Cena. I am so happy with that.
Yeah, that's what.
And I think we will
flip the walkout.
Yeah,
with the title.
Flip the walkout. Have Cena do the Punk. It would be great. It'll be great. I think that'll be fun. The Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria defense against the recently heel-turned Becky Lynch. Again, I haven't imparted my WrestleMania thoughts. I was a bit, why the fuck did they flip the belt to Becky on her first night back? Oh, no, she's becoming Charlotte. No, she's becoming awesome again. I love Becky Lynch as a heel. She's hilarious.
I must admit, I wasn't sold on the first one. I wasn't sold on like when it happened the first turn, but the promo they did this week brought me around a bit. I thought it was very good.
So good. And again, Liv is an MVP in that women's division. She is so fucking good. Liv Morgan.
She'll be gone for a little while now.
Yeah, she'll be gone for a while now.
Yeah, she's off to shoot a movie, a Marvel film or something.
Yeah. No, it's a Bad Lieutenant Tokyo.
It's a Neon Pictures film, which they do very good stuff. Like,
yeah, apparently it's already got a face
Oscar
at Cannes. It hasn't even been filmed or anything, and they're already talking about it being Cannes worthy.
Yep.
So,
yeah, Neon have won they've won 2 out of the last 3 best pictures at the Oscars. So it's that sort of caliber movie.
Well, look, good for Liv, and you know, she's good looking. She's got great presence. She can really make it. So good luck.
Yeah.
We also have Pat McAfee against Gunther.
Man,
it'll be fun.
I like the
Gunther
promo.
could just slap the crap out of him.
He can talk people like Pat can talk people in the building. He is a decent enough athlete that Gunther will be able to do some good shit with him. It's not going to be a bad match because Gunther's in it.
I think it's
and like
been so long
let's face it, when we saw Pat and Adam Cole years ago, that was some good stuff in NXT. Not so much with Austin Theory, but let's not like fool ourselves to think Austin Theory, Adam Cole, Gunther, same sort of worker.
And finally, rumored Logan Paul against Jey Uso. Sure. Like,
can you get a better, easy to fucking boo heel for Jay's first defense? You can't.
No. I agree with Nick Galea here. Pat McAfee is awful. All he cares about is getting himself over on anything he does. I'm in the bring back Corey Graves camp, but they will soon because he's about to bugger off for college football.
I was going to say, this is probably why.
Yeah.
He'll get destroyed by Gunther and then be gone.
I think he's going to get destroyed.
I'm more worried about is him getting destroyed by Gunther, Goldberg coming in making the save, and it's Goldberg Gunther at the next big pay-per-view. That's what I'm worried is going to happen.
If you're right on that one, you can take your prediction.
I'm
runs
sorry, I
and get
can't
out of
help it
here.
about these things.
No. I don't want you to be. I fucking don't want you to be right on that. I think it's probably going to be that Gunther beats him up so badly, Adam Pearce has to send Gunther away for a while or something. Moving over to AEW, the first ever AEW singles clash between reigning champion Jon Moxley and Samosa Joseph will now take place inside a steel cage. The bout takes place on the Beach Break edition of Dynamite, set for Wednesday, May 14 in Chicago, Illinois. Chicago. Will we see CM Punk? No.
I just like I would like once for Jon Moxley to have a match that doesn't involve any other rules but the normal
gimmick.
rules. Yeah. Like
Yeah,
stop
I gotta
hiding
agree.
behind gimmicks. Like actual fucking just do a normal fucking match, mate. See if you can. Like low key, I think he might be a terrible worker, and he's been hiding this with fucking smoke and mirrors for the last God knows how long. Like, because I can't remember the last time I've seen him in just a straight up one-on-one match, normal rules.
Yeah, not in AEW. Probably last time he was in New Japan.
Yeah,
maybe.
Probably. AEW Double or Nothing is coming to us on Sunday, May 25th. Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournaments Finals. Will Ospreay against Hangman Adam Page. Those two have never had bad matches, so I think that's going to be an absolute banger. That will slap. And the Women's Tournament Final, Mercedes Moné against Jamie Hayter. Mercedes has found her rhythm now, and it's quite pleasing to see. She's still not as protected as she was at Sasha Banks, so some crap leaks through every now and then. But I managed to catch her match with Athena, and it was very, very good. How much of that was Athena, though, is like a little bit unknown. But AEW are beginning to put on some really, really good dynamites at the moment.
Yeah, 100%. But also, like, they had 18 months of Athena being undefeated, never pinned, and she lost that streak on a fucking Wednesday.
Yeah.
Really a nothing match.
Not even in the tournament final. It was like
No.
the tournament second rounder or something. Like, oh.
Yeah. I get it, but Mercedes needs to lose. And I'm hoping it's to Jamie Hayter because, Mercedes needs to lose because this is she's still got that title, doesn't she? Yes, she does.
Yeah.
I
She's got like
think-
100 titles, bro.
I think that the Athena loss will come back and bite Mercedes in the butt in this final. Athena is going to cost her and then set up Mercedes, Athena at All In, and then Jamie can go and fight Tony at All In as well.
Jamie Tony will be a great match. I think Athena Mercedes was really impressive. Athena's finisher is just so good.
I just don't want to see. I do not want to see Mercedes and Tony. I just don't.
No.
I'm not interested at all in that.
No. But speaking of wrestlers, female identifying wrestlers, Meiko Satomura's 30-year career in the ring came to an end at Korakuen Hall on Tuesday. In her official retirement match, Satomura and Manami defeated Aja Kong and Sendai Girls champion Chirome Hashimoto. A scorpion rising kick from Satomura to Kong was the finish. There was an impromptu 5-minute handicap match where at Kong's request, the two legends, Satomura and Kong, teamed together against Hashimoto, Miki Iwata, Takumi Iroha.
So you miss Lachlan now, mate.
I do, mate. And Senda Akatsuki. Who suggested this story anyway? Oh, me. And Yuna. The show was named Meiko Satomura, the final, and was produced by Satomura's Sendai Girls promotion. WWE stars Kairi Sane, Io Sky, Asuka, and Shinsuke Nakamura sent in video messages that were played for Satomura. There were also messages from NJA PW's Hiroshi Tanahashi and Joshi legend Devil Masami. Among those in attendance at the show were the Crush Girls, Bull Nakano, Akira Hokuto, and Kenta Kobashi. Satomura changed women's wrestling. You cannot understate it. She legitimized it. She changed it. I mean, Nick has said Mako Satomura time was so cool. Legit one of the greatest wrestlers of the last 25, 30 years. And seeing some of the greatest wrestlers in the world show their respect was sick. I agree.
I
It was also mentioned on Raw this week as a milestone, and her career is fantastic. And if the mission of people is to leave the place better than when they came in, Mako Satomura achieved that 1,000 times over. And I think that you can be a wrestler, you can be a great wrestler, but very, very few are spoken in the terms and with the respect that Mako Satomura has been. And I know I'm just a dude on a podcast and some people hear it and some people don't. But if Mako Satomura, thank you so much. Thank you for everything you've done. You've been in more federations and won more titles than most people can even dream of. And you've been fucking incredible and amazing.
I saw on, I think it was Instagram today, that Nakamura put up a video of him being taught the Scorpio Rising kick. And he's like, I'm going to use this now as my new finisher.
Oh.
So that's his, like, yeah, it was a really cool little, like, it was just like it looked like a security cam footage of him in the ring with her standing there and like her teaching him the kick.
Nice. Wherever he wants.
Yeah, wherever he ends up going.
Jamie, anything to add? I know I spoke at length about that, but
no, it's awesome to see her get that, like, especially the little impromptu match of like just doing something fun to finish it off as well. And awesome that Lena Cross was a part of that show.
Yes, she was. And Aja Kong said without Mako, there would be no Aja Kong and no Bull Nakano. And it was just really, really lovely. Yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful moment. And it's nice to acknowledge someone like her. We have new
she's still not going away either. She's still going to keep working behind the scenes for Crush Girls. So,
yeah, which is great. She just won't be wrestling on the screen. Yeah. I mean, I expect that next year or the year after she will, because it seems like Triple H is actually thinking about who goes into the WWE Hall of Fame instead of, what Vince was doing. I expect that any Hall of Fame she's not in, she will be in very, very soon. And that's not just the WWE one. That's probably the Cauliflower Alley and several others. So I expect
Surely she's already in the Observer Hall of Fame, surely. I don't know. I'm just, like, imagining that she must be already.
She must be in the Cauliflower, but there'd be others that she's not part of that she will be.
Yeah.
So within the next 2 years, I'd imagine that. We do have new IWGP Tag Team Champions. Callum Newman and the Great Okan defeated Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi in the main event of NJPW Wrestling Red Zone in Hiroshima on Saturday. With the win, they captured the titles that had been vacated by Newman and Cobb due to Cobb's departure from the promotion. There you go.
Just like a side note, because I know we didn't talk about this last week. Did you guys see the exchange between like Cobb and TJP and TJP's wife?
TJP's wife, most notably.
No.
Holy shit.
What?
Like TJP's wife just went nuclear. So like Jamie could probably give you a better summation of what happened.
Yeah. So TJP's wife basically came out and said that nobody likes Jeff Cobb in the United Empire. He felt like he was meant to run the thing, not TJ. And Jeff kind of fired back and went, no, New Japan literally didn't want any of us to lead. They just wanted us to just kind of operate as a unit. But TJ kind of thrust himself into the captain's role. And yeah, it broke down into just chaos between the two of them of just back and forward, slinging mud at each other, and everyone's just like,
well, Jeff didn't really sling mud. And then TJP's wife said, I hope you die in the ring.
Whoa.
Yeah, she took it too far.
Yeah, she took it way too far. Yeah, she really did. Here's the thing, though. Like, I've heard a lot of stories in wrestling. I've heard no bad stories about Jeff Cobb.
No.
I cannot say the same about TJP.
And also, like, I met Cobb.
And that's all I'll say.
I met Cobb on a World Series wrestling tour, and yeah, you get the feeling the guy's just a Hawaiian, laid-back, surfing, stoner guy.
Well, I think they offered him. Didn't they offer him the captain? He's like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, no, we should all, like, elevate each other. Like, they really wanted Hinare. but
Yeah.
he got hurt, so he couldn't do
he
it.
got hurt.
So then they're like, oh, we'll just kind of.
I think that was one of
as
the
a
things. Like,
team.
if Hanari didn't get hurt, you wouldn't have been anywhere near that captaincy or something like that. He said to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is like facts. It's not being mean. It's just like, dude, straight facts.
Yeah. There are speaking of new titles, there are new IWG.
Sad news here. We have to
I know
preface it with.
Like I was sad about Chelsea, and now you're hitting me with this shit. What are you doing, Todd?
I didn't write the show, bro.
New IWGP. Welcome back, Jeff. Here's bad shit. And new IWGP heavyweight tag team champions were also crowned on Tuesday when Yo and Master Watto defeated the mighty Robbie Eagles and Kosei Fujita, the Ichiban Sweet Boys. The match saw Yo and Watto break out a new double team move named the Falcon Blow, a chasing the dragon style move into a backbreaker to win the belts. That's atrocious. Like you
could have him lose to any team. Why fucking Master Watto? I feel like that was a slap to my face.
I think the question, why fucking Master Watto, is the best question anyone could ask at any time. Really. Yeah. And now here's Master Watto. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I suspect this is all just because the best of Super Juniors is coming up. Robbie and Fujita are on opposite sides. I think they're going to maybe try and push them to have something in the semis or finals.
Yeah, that's a good thing. We've actually got the proper block, so we won't get in trouble with Robbie tonight.
Yeah, I did hear that. Either the War Dogs or House of Torture will lead Bullet Club on the 12th anniversary of the faction's formation at Wrestling Dontaku 2013. The two subgroups will meet in a dog pound steel cage match on night 1 of Wrestling Dontaku on May the 3rd. That is this Saturday. Evil cut a promo on today's Hizen no Kuni show in Saga before the two teams met in a 10-man tag, telling the War Dogs, once they lose at Dontaku, they are officially out of Bullet Club, and Finlay accepted. Sure.
I think for everyone in wrestling, they just want the House of Torture to go away.
Yeah.
Not I don't care if they lose, just go away.
Yeah.
I could see either team losing here. Like War Dogs can go out and be their own unit and be great.
Yeah, I mean, I look at War Dogs and I don't even think of them as a Bullet Club faction. I just think of them as the War Dogs. Like it's fucking Gabe Kidd, Finlay. Do you know what I mean? It's like those dudes stand on their own without having like Bullet Club, having to have the Bullet Club affiliation.
Yeah, whereas I think House of Torture need that just to kind of prop them up a bit. So yeah, War Dogs losing would be totally fine by me.
We do have a couple of blocks of the best of the Super Juniors to talk about. Speaking of Master Watto, he's in A block alongside Kushida, Francesca Akira, Clark Connors, Ninja Black, Robbie X,
Ninja Mac.
Ninja Mac. Sorry, Hiromu Takahashi, Yoshinobu Kanemura, Kosei Fujita, and Dragon Dia.
And Robbie X.
Robbie X. I think that Kosei Fujita should win that block, to be honest. I really do. I think there's a lot of good wrestlers in there. Surely Hiromu's either going to move up or retire soon. He's so broken down.
I think maybe Fujita or Akira.
Yeah.
Akira would be good too.
I think they have to be.
Those two in the final would be a banger. The A block final. But with every A block, there is a...
Sorry, but when does it start? The junior start?
Next Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay,
Saturday.
so next Thursday we'll do predictions.
Yeah, I'll shut my mouth then. But we do have a B block. We do have a B block to talk about. We have El Desperado, Taguchi, Ishimori, Robbie Eagles, Yo, Sho, Kevin Knight, Nick Wayne, which I'm really happy about, Titan, and MAO or Mao. It's it's best of Super Juniors time, which is always a good time, guys. And I think that we'll talk about it more next week, as you said.
I'm just glad that we'll get to see Nick Wayne in some actual matches.
Yeah, I echo
we'll get to see Nick Wayne actually work.
Yeah, I completely agree, Todd. Kick Out merch is available at kickout.com.au for merch of your favourite Queensland wrestlers and several wrestlers from around the country, I might add. If you want your merch on the site, contact them through their Instagram page, please. Nicolia saying Mao is phenomenal. Get on the bandwagon now. Oh, now. It's been a big few weeks. It's been a big few weeks. And, of course, the show is called Making Chicken Salad. I would never, ever forget to do this bit.
No, never. not
so we're going to talk about
once
things
ever.
that made us happy. I obviously have a few things to chat about. Jamie, what has made you happy this week, mate?
Hey, do you want to do this shit first, and we can end on a happy note?
Oh, that's right. That's right. We go home. That I have forgotten. It's been a while. There have been things that we haven't liked in wrestling as well.
Reset.
I mean, all that bullshit up in Queensland was the chicken shit of the week last week. I think it can just hang over. But that's a show one. Jamie, what haven't you liked this week? Jamie, you're on mute.
There we go. I think the big thing is like Dakota Kai's recent tweets of saying I'm not injured, I miss wrestling. And it's like after last week when they were talking about not benching people, it's kind of like, oh, that kind of sucks for her.
I'm kind of wondering if this sort of stuff we're hearing isn't the start of some sort of thing.
Disgruntled faction thing.
Yeah, because like you've heard it from a couple of people.
Yeah,
and normally
Natty commented and Reed and everything.
Promo
So.
was fucking electrifying.
Yeah,
she's not.
Like, I don't know.
She's Natty,
I'm probably
and she's gonna fuck you up. So
I'm probably doing a Lachlan thing and thinking way too into this.
Deep.
But it wouldn't surprise me if they're doing something like that.
It also makes me worried that there might be cuts coming.
Well, yeah, that's why. I think on today's Wrestling Observer, they'll just like Brian Alvarez was going. It's a bit worrying in NXT when who was it, like Metaphor break up from no apparent reason, and like, you know what I mean? It's just like ugh, it's getting a cut time.
A couple of chicken shits. Matty Haas, the NWA throwback that Hogan and Bischoff did for this freestyle wrestling league they're tied up in. Not too sweet, but too cringe. Got to agree with you. They look fucking awful. Nicolia, as much as I am a Cornette fan, him continuously shitting on WrestleMania, on the WrestleMania 3-way because he hates EO was lame. Even last called him out on it. Yeah, EO's amazing. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Io Shirai is one fucking great wrestler. Whether she's called Io Shirai or Io Sky, I don't care. She's phenomenal. So, Todd, what didn't you like this week?
I posted it, I think, today on my X. And, like, I just want to say, like, everywhere, heels in general, when a crowd chants one more time for you to hit a finishing move, don't do it. Don't do it. Why are you, as a heel, trying to make the crowd happy? That's not your job. Like, and I understand, like, everyone's like, oh, it was amazing. You saw Bron Breakker turn around, he speed him against the air. But what would have been more amazing is for him to start running and just stop and go, no, I don't do what you people tell me.
Yeah.
I don't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I see it more everywhere. This is not just like a Bron Breakker exclusive thing. Like, every time, like, that's what I love about Kevin Owens. When Kevin Owens is a heel and people chant something like that, he won't do it. Why would I do anything to make the crowd happy? That's not my job. My job is quite the opposite.
It's just
a basher thing. I hope that more people around the wrestling world as heels see this and go, why am I trying to pop the crowd? That's not my job.
Andy from Bob Vance, chicken shit, Grizzled Love that, Orton rules. Orton, who cares about the kids, kind of sucks. No, I think you've missed the point a bit on that one, mate. I really do. He doesn't care about the kids. He was telling John Cena to get a root.
Basically, you're uptight, brother. You need to.
He was telling John Cena to get his joint sucked. Like how MVP dropped the ball and thing when he realized it was getting over. Absolutely. And even even if I don't mind if a heel does it one more time, but then if he grabs a mic and goes, "You think I did that for you?" No, I did it for me.
Yeah, like this is a small example, and it's probably means fuck all to anybody. But back in there, when Cree and I first started working together as a like manager, like wrestler, we used to do a thing where like I'd almost do the Joel Gertner thing where I would come out and do my opening promo was like a rhyme or a poem. And it started getting over and the crowd started like cheering for it. So I just stopped it cold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to get hated. And so the baby faces like want to get up on us.
The only exception I can think of to that is Paul Heyman. Because Paul Heyman can come out and do, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul," and the crowd will chant along, and then he will instantly make you hate his guts.
Yeah. But that's because that was only really a intro. And then he moves on to the meat and potatoes.
To the meat and potatoes, exactly.
Whereas mine was like the whole opening promo was the rhyme, and it was mainly there just trying to annoy people to start with.
And as Alex has
then
said,
they started popping for him like, well, I can't do that anymore, and that sucks.
Armando Estrada once stopped mid-ring because he realized the crowd were chanting along with him. Armando was such a good manager. He really was. And, I'd love to see the likes of him.
Well, like The Rock used to do it. Like, this isn't Sing Along with The Rock. Shut up while I do this.
Yeah. My chicken shit, like, obviously I'm really sad about Robbie and Kosei and Chelsea Green losing the belts. I wanted Chelsea to have like a really long run with it, so it built up even more and more. But they probably got other plans. In all honesty, she's probably going to be moving up to the women's world title. I was like pretty shocked about the Queensland thing, to be honest, and I found that really sad. That people don't listen. But I think this week there was a really, really good NXT show that ended with the wrong match. I get that they want to build up EO and having EO back is a big deal, but I would have opened with EO because then it kind of just ended after her match. And I kind of wanted a bit more, but that's because it's wrestling.
You like EO.
I like EO. But with the bad comes the good. I'm getting this right. With the bad comes the good. The name of the show is Making Chicken Salad. What's our salad this week, Jamie? What has made you happy this week?
For me, it was Indy Hartwell crossing the line and joining TNA. I thought that was awesome. Lots of potential there with she can go into her own single stuff. She can reunite with Steph. Heaps of options.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Todd, I have other chicken salads, but I agree. I'm really happy you mentioned that. Todd.
Well, I know you haven't watched it, Jeff. So get around last week's SmackDown main event, the 3-team TLC match.
Oh,
it was fucking unbelievable. Those guys went out there with a purpose to say, you should not have left us off WrestleMania. And definitely fucking, like, that match was fucking amazing. Like, I saw someone this fucking week too, and it annoys me the fact I try not comment on these things, but like they put up a graphic of Alex Shelley was in a speed match with somebody. I can't remember who it was. Like, oh, you chose WWE and this is the match. And I was like, hey, Nimrod, did you not see fucking SmackDown on the weekend? It was one of the best matches that have been on TV for like WWE for the last year. I think that fucking 3-team main event was amazing. It was good when a guy's like fucking like Bully Ray, who's very protective over a TLC match, will go out of his way to say that was really good.
Yeah.
So I definitely like encourage that.
Yeah. I would agree with that. I just want to quickly, before it moves too far down the chat, Matty Huss's Chicken Salad, George Hitman Julio getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, Mayhem Pro naming their show in June as a tribute/celebration. Well-deserved acknowledgement of a real pioneer. When I was at Mayhem a couple of months ago with the microphone and the camera, and we were doing some interviews, a lot of people said, "Oh, you got to talk to George. You got to talk to George," and it never quite lined up. But at some point, I would love to have a chat with George. He's such a legend. Alex Firehouse, Chicken Salad unrelated.
Wouldn't it be good to be able to do a Hall of Fame without people worrying about shit? Be amazing.
Anyway. Chicken Salad unrelating to wrestling, but Alex, they got finally diagnosed as being on the autism spectrum. Big relief that. And I guess I can now say wrestling is my special interest. Yeah. Well done, Alex. That's great. Nick Galea, Shelley and Sabin getting their moment on TV in their 40s is awesome. Been a fan of both for 20-odd years. Yeah, they're fantastic and a great tag team. And George getting the Hall of Fame is perfect, an absolute gentleman. So
on that too, I got to make, there's a set of cards for George as well, or there's commemorative cards for that moment as well.
Oh, awesome.
I have a couple of nice things to talk about, and I apologize if this is at all triggering for some, given the man's reputation, but Adam Blompier has come back and done a How Adam Would Book. He's done The Summer of Cena, which is obviously a take on The Summer of Punk. He has included in that booking some of the things we mentioned tonight. I personally am a big fan of Adam Blompier as a personality, and I'm kind of happy to see him back. I might be the only one, and I apologize again if that has triggered some people, given that there's a lot of he said, she said going out about Adam leaving Parts Fun Note. The other thing I'm really happy, I was so happy to see Natty's promo this week. If you haven't seen Natty's promo, chase it down on Twitter. It is fucking great. It is a different Natalia Neidhart that we're seeing. And I think if they transfer that through to WWE, that'll be something special. We're going to see something really, really good out of her in the twilight of her career.
You also got the Karrion Kross promo that's in a similar vein. So yeah, maybe Todd is right with them building something there.
Well, I heard,
and also they announced this week that the Crockett Cup, Natty is going to be taking on Kenzie Page for the NWA Women's title.
And that's who the promo was about. It was about Kenzie. I also want to. I heard that with Karrion Kross, they're giving him more opportunities. They're not quite saying he's getting a push, but they're giving him more opportunities, is what I read, which will be great. Look, there's been so much to like, but ultimately, my chicken salad is what I'm doing right now because I miss this so much. Like, I needed the time. I needed a break. There was no doubt that after 3 years of doing this, I needed a bit of a hiatus, and it was healthy. It was good. I saw some fantastic comedy. I spent some time with some wonderful friends, but there's nothing I enjoy more than spending time with you guys and Lachlan and people in the chat. And some of you are my personal friends, and some of you I really, really like seeing you at wrestling shows and other things. And it's just awesome to be back. And it's awesome to say that WrestleBrania was amazing this year. The feedback was wonderful. People stopped us and said how much they enjoyed the show. All three of us heard that. And that means so much. I mean, Welch, you can fuck off, but otherwise it was good. No, it was great.
I love Welsh, and you can fuck off.
Yeah, I love working with those two, and you'll see us again soon. So thank you, and thank you for having me back. It's good to be back.
Yeah, about that, Jeff.
Have I given you my sign language yet? Yeah, my chicken salad is that I'm back.
Oh dear. Well, that'll probably about do it. Before we do go, and I must admit, and I have to apologize, I've been quite an asshole to Jeff because I wanted him to think I'd forgotten about his birthday completely. So I was just going to do it at the end of the show. That's why every time you mention your birthday, I just straight past it. Because I'm like, by the end of it, he's going to be like, this motherfucker has not said happy birthday or anything to me at all. But seriously, mate, it is great to have you back. very, very, very happy birthday, my friend. I'm glad that you had your time and enjoyed all the comedy shows that you did. And yeah, just the happiest birthday, mate. It's good to have you back.
Thank you, mate. That's lovely of you. And Jamie, I noticed you put something out in Oz Wrestling Cards about June.
Yeah, so we just released the June pack for pre-order, and yesterday for Jeff's birthday, we announced that Jeff is going to be in the August pack, I believe it is. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one later in the year. So happy birthday, Jeff.
Thank you very much, Jamie. And it's a pleasure to be back. And Jamie, thank you so much for dropping by tonight. I look forward to finding out more about the June Oz Wrestling Cards. They're always so good, and it's lovely to hear that George is getting some dedication and love from you. Todd, anything else to add?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, I suppose we can kind of say, like, as of like the last couple of weeks, anytime Jamie wishes to be on the show, when he's got time to be able to watch the show that we're reviewing, Jamie will be dropping by to join us as a part of the team. So consider him he's no longer special guest Jamie Apps. He's one of the team Jamie Apps. And
I do love to hear that. I mean, it would have been nice if you sent me a message. No, I love to hear that.
Do you know what, though? It absolutely is one of those things where it gives us the flexibility to be able to say, hey, I'm not really in the best headspace this week. I might take this week off if it's possible, and we can do that. And that's what because the main thing about this thing is all about like mental health with us.
And as always, we are about mental health, and we've got some fantastic merch that Todd has commissioned over the last decade plus.
He's good, isn't he?
Teed him up.
Didn't I know?
So make sure that you hit up our merch place on Redbubble. Proceeds go to two very important charities, Beyond Blue and Gotcha for Life, which do help with mental health. Look after your friends. Check in on your friends. Like this Saturday, we all fucking lose, let's be honest. But check in on your mates and make sure that they're okay out of whatever result comes up. Like, it's looking like the marginally less assholey, in my opinion, will get in.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget.
Don't forget, go vote.
I pre-vote,
so
I don't have to worry about lining up and
if I don't get a sausage, I'm not a happy boy. I got to get a sausage.
Well, the last time that I went to vote, like on the day, all I saw was a hairy ass crack and no one had a Barbie on. And I was just like, well, I'm done with this. I'm just going to mail it in from now on.
You saw a hamburger, not a sausage.
I really did. I remember the time because, like, when I got out of the car to walk towards it and I could not smell the sausages.
Couldn't smell the sausages?
Oh, no.
And I literally went, what the fuck is this, to my wife? And then we're in line up and this guy is voting and bent over and all I can see is his hairy ass crack. And that's what we get. That right there is how I think of this country right now. Just a hairy ass crack and no fucking democracy sausage.
I go to a primary school. They got the sausages. They got everything. If you want to hear more scintillating conversation like Todd waxing lyrical about a hairy ass crack, check in on us every Thursday night. It is free here on twitch.tv/WrestleRadio.au.
Yeah.
And you can
guarantee
subscribe.
We will not just out of nowhere text your phone.
Yeah.
Guarantee we won't be doing that.
We won't be doing that. And don't forget, you can subscribe to us. That's free as well. It is on, you can do it on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Plus, anywhere you get your podcasts from. If you do stop by Apple Podcasts, give us a rating and review. And while you're there, if you give us a 5-star review, it helps us get inside way more ears and will be a really, really nice treat. Socials, Wrestle Radio, at Wrestle Radio AU for Twitter and Instagram. And of course, we're also on Facebook. Todd is at Beast Eastman, on several things. Jamie is at Jamie Apps Media and at Oz. Is it Oz Rest Cards or Oz Wrestling Cards?
Oz Rest Cards.
At Oz Rest Cards. I am Jeff Senny, and of course, if you want to, I'm no longer on Twitter X or whatever.
Really?
Elon decided to call it, but at Wrestle_Brainier is, and we're Wrestle Brainier on Instagram, Wrestle Brainier on Facebook. Look, thanks to everyone who contributed in the chat. This was a fun one. Thank you to Todd. Thank you to Jamie for Wrestle Radio Australia making chicken salad. I've been Jeff Setti. We'll catch you down the road.
Here I was, blaming AEW for feeding you chicken shit, knowing you mindless millennials would be eating it up as if it were chicken salad, when it's really been your fault all along.
Make chicken salad out of chicken shit. People is as people does, that's all there is to it.